are done talking about Lindsey. There's been so much going on with her this past week that has came out, and now her daughter Miley Grace has came and spoke out on TikTok and shared her side, and we're going to get into that. And this video, well, these two videos she posted on TikTok sharing her side have gone mega viral. Like, one video got over 650,000 views, and she went from 2,000 followers on TikTok to now over 14,000 followers. So her account's blowing up right now. So let's check out these videos. She wanted to respond to a lot of Lindsey's claims that she recently came out and made.
Hi, my name is Miley Downs. I'm sure you've heard about me or my situation with my mother, Lindsey Downs. I have not spoken up due to the fact that I've been trying to be the bigger person, but lies have been told about me and my family, and when it comes to my family, then it's a problem for me. So first, I'm going to address the lies, and then I'm going to tell my story. So first, I want to address the lies that have been told about my family and my home. It has been said that my home is overcrowded and unsanitary. My stepmom, Hayden, is a stay-at-home mom who stays at home and cleans all day long.
And then also, fun fact I just learned. So remember when Lindsey revealed on Crime Stories she had 24-hour round-the-clock babysitters when she was out doing her life of crime? The stepmother that's with Lindsey's baby daddy, the stepmother was her babysitter before she started dating Lindsey's baby daddy. I even remember covering in one of my older videos that it came out that Lindsey would not always pay these babysitters. They would sit there and go days watching Miley Grace without payment, but they didn't want to just leave Miley Grace because they knew that she didn't have anyone else. They didn't want to just leave her alone defenseless, so they chose to continue helping out Miley Grace at times even when they didn't. They chose to continue watching Miley Grace even when they weren't being paid for it up front.
There's just no way my house is unsanitary. And my family built onto their house to make me a bedroom just so that I would have a bedroom to myself and it would not be overcrowded at all. The next thing that has been told is that I am vaping and doing drugs. I am doing neither of which. I have been to the doctor, and my doctor and my parents have helped me quit, because in the past I did, but they have helped me quit. Now, there is a picture circling the internet of me with a vape in my hand. That is from March of 2025 when I was living with my mom. That picture is not from now. You can tell that it is not from now. Ever since I have moved in here, I have had fun colors in my hair. There was no color in my hair at the time. This is the picture circling the internet, and you can very clearly tell that it is not from now. Due to the physical and emotional stress that Lindsey put me through, I now take a low dosage.
You notice how she's calling her Lindsey and she's not even calling her by mom anymore?
Of Lexapro, because I was having severe depression and anxiety. This medicine has helped me a lot in the past 2 months, and it has done a lot for me. The next thing I want to address is the rumors about my boyfriend and his mother. I would just like to say that Danielle is the best mother to her children, and none of the such things that have been said have actually happened. No, I do not live with my boyfriend. No, there is no photo of us laid up together, and no, we have not been at that house unsupervised. Also, it was said that my boyfriend is about to turn 18 years old. He just turned 16 of April in this year. He will be 17 of April of 2026. I will be 17 in July of 2026. He is nowhere near 18 years old.
Now, and it also came out, and I also learned that her boyfriend, it's not Chad's biological son, but it's Chad's adopted son. So I believe he's one of Danielle, his ex-wives. I don't know if they're married. It was Danielle, his ex. It was one of her kids that he decided to step up and adopt.
Now, Lindsey is not a suitable parent, and I will explain why. She has claimed to be taking a low dosage of Effexor for anxiety. This is not true. This medicine that she takes, I'm not entirely sure what it is for, but without it, she does not act like a normal human being. She is completely dependent on this medicine. Without it, she is a very angry person. She's out of control and very emotionally unstable. And with her trying to get pregnant right now, she is not taking the medicine like she should. And
Lindsey revealed in a TikTok live that she's going to be getting married in a few weeks, and she's trying to get pregnant. I don't think right now is the best time to be getting pregnant when she's got all this going on with Miley Grace. I mean, her and Chad really haven't been together that long.
And I have seen firsthand the way she acts without this medicine, and it is not okay. She also drinks on this medicine, which is not recommended at all. Her go-to is a sex on the beach, which she has every single time that we go to a Mexican restaurant, which, if you're from the South, you know is pretty often. They go to bars and horse races, and she drinks at all of these, and drinking on this medicine is not safe at all. This is just one reason that proves that mentally and emotionally she is not stable enough to be a parent. Next, my absences in school are not for no reason. Last week, I had a UTI that almost made me go septic. All week long, I was so sick that I could not roll over in my bed, and my stepmom, Hayden, took care of me and waited on me hand and foot all week long. As well as I had to stay home from school for about a week due to the fact that we were scared Lindsey was going to come and try to take me from school.
We had to find something to just take Miley, because when I was young, when I was about Miley's age, I was like 16, I went and I moved in with my dad for like a week, and he was still taking me to school every day. And then one day I had the police remove me from class, and they said, oh, your mother is here to pick you up. And I was like, I don't want to go with her. And I had no choice. I had to go with my mother. And so I feel like Lindsey, if she really wanted to do that, she could have. But I really feel like there has to be something big enough that's preventing her from doing that, unless she just doesn't want to do it, because she did have that recorded conversation where she said she didn't want to have rights to Miley anymore.
I would also like to say that I am 16 years old and have a phone of my own. I could text my mother or call my mother whenever I want to. My parents do not care that I do that, but I choose not to because I do not want to speak to her. Now, I did not quit volleyball. I will be trying out for volleyball next season, but volleyball season is over for the year. At my old school, I was not allowed to play volleyball as per my old principal because he said that he could protect me during school, but that he could not protect me during practice. I now go to a new school and will be trying out for volleyball next year, as well as doing cheer and any other sport that I can, due to it being my senior year and me wanting to do as much as I can. Now, she has said that these text messages are out of context, so I'm going to give you context. First off, this one, I had accidentally left my makeup bag in her bathroom, so she pulled maggots out of a goat's foot using the tweezers out of my makeup bag. This one was right before the first met Chad. She told me that I better impress him, and she had talked to me about the fact that he had a lot of money and that I needed to impress him so that she could be with him. But the only thing she really ever talked to me about him was his money.
That's not surprising. Notice how Lindsey hasn't tried to rush into marrying anybody else. I mean, she tried to propose to Blaine, but I mean, she's been pretty smart about everyone else not just jumping in and marrying them, but she's just putting the pedal to the metal when it comes to this Chad guy. She wants to have his baby. She wants to get married to him, and they haven't even been together for a year now that we know of.
Of that conversation, of her just telling me that I better impress him.
Or 200 acres, not 500. My bad.
I guess I was not good enough. Now, these are text messages between me and Chad, of him saying that we had things to do and him getting mad at me because I forgot to clean the kitchen. And you can see how much we were at Mexican. They were at Mexican, talking about how I needed to hurry up because when I got home, I had to clean the kitchen. Now, this is a screenshot of my mother's TikTok saying that the villain era is deserved on me and that she wants to get revenge on me.
Like, how messed up is that, to be bullying your own daughter on the internet? And there's some other messages of her contributing to a conversation and joking around with a girl who's pretty much throwing shade at Miley Grace. This isn't the first time that Lindsey did this. Someone said, I love you so much, even in your villain eras. And then Lindsey said, but the villain era is so deserved on Miley Grace's part right now. It's almost like you're feeding off seeing her downfall. And that is cool.
I'm not sure if getting revenge on a 16-year-old is very mature, but that is her mindset, so that is what we'll go with. Now I will tell my story. So I got my tonsils out on April 25th of this year. She took me there, and when I went into surgery, she left, and my grandmother, her mom, came and picked me up, and my ex-boyfriend at the time stayed the entire time. When we all got home, they were arguing about who was going to have to stay and take care of me, and my boyfriend, who had been taking care of me the entire time, offered to take me to his house and him and his family take care of me, and that is exactly what we did. So I stayed and lived with my ex-boyfriend for about a month while he took care of me every single day when I got my tonsils out. And
okay, so this is when she was like, what, 15? Because she just turned 16 this summer. And she let her go move in with her boyfriend for a month because she didn't want to help out with her after she just had surgery done. Like, come on. Remember when Blaine had surgery? I can't remember what the surgery was on, but he ended up having some surgery. And while he was having the surgery, Lindsey was out in another state vacation.
He to stay there after that for a little bit. He would wake up 3 times a night in the middle of the night and give me my medicine and then go back to sleep, wake up, and go to school the next day, every single day for weeks. During this, she was out living the life with Chad, just doing whatever she wanted to do while I was laid in bed sick. So this continued until I got in trouble on May 19th, and they made me move in the house with them, Chad and Lindsey, and Chad continued to yell at me all night long when I had met him twice. All summer long, we were made to...
So not only is he threatening her through text, but he didn't even meet her twice before he was screaming at her all night long. Like, that, he should not be punishing Miley Grace. That is not her father, and he's not even married to Lindsey yet.
To work.
Lindsey's the only one that should be punishing Miley Grace.
Work on the farm from starting around 7 or 8 o'clock, working until 5, 6, 7 o'clock, maybe possibly later, just depending on however Chad felt that day. And we would do the normal things you do on a farm, but it's very hard work. We did not get a choice in this, and we did not get paid for this at all. Towards the end of the summer,
I remember going into it, Miley Grace asked her, Mom, I'm not going to have to do farm work, am I? No, you're not going to have to do farm work, but just put on this sweet, innocent act in front of Chad. But nope, she had to do farm work.
Of the summer, we were allowed to work for money at the car lot, cleaning and detailing cars, and I would run errands a lot, but that was the only money we were allowed to make. We were not allowed to have jobs anywhere else. Now, in September, I got in trouble again, and my mom brought me here, and my mom and my parents had a conversation. My parents said that they would allow me to come stay here, and my mother chose to take me back anyways after saying that she did not want me there. If you want to hear the voicemail of them saying that they did not want me there, I can show that in another video. So the next day, My parents called CPS, and CPS came to the house and told me that they wanted to see the bruises on me. I showed them the bruises, and they continued to try to say that those were from volleyball, when volleyball does not leave bruises on your butt or bruises on your knees as much as they were on my knees. So this is the part 2 to my first video. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. So I'm just going to finish my story and give y'all some more receipts of everything. So I left off in the last video where CPS had came to my house and asked to see the bruises on me. I showed them the bruises. The bruises on my knees were from the military workouts that Chad was making us do. We would do normal things like lunges and duck walks, but when we did our lunges, our knees had to hit the gravel, and we had to say the saying while we said our duck walks. When CPS saw all of this, they took pictures, and then I said I wanted to leave, and they took me to my dad's house. From then, they looked at the house and left me there, and we had a safety plan that said that I would stay at my dad's on the weekends and stay at Brad's house during the weeks. And at the time, they left me at my dad's. So from then, I think 2 days had passed, and Gammy had decided to go and get my phone fixed to where I could use my phone, because my mom had locks on my phone where I could not get onto any of my apps, and we thought that she had spyware on my phone, which, if you don't know what spyware is, basically they can see and hear anything you do on your phone. So we took it to AT&T and we got everything off, and from there it was like domino effect. Lindsey decided that she wanted to cancel the safety plan and try to come and get me, and CPS called, and my parents did not let me go. Lindsey and her friend sat in the road beside our mailbox for about an hour and a half, saying that deputies were going to come get me, and that if I did not come with them willingly, they were going to send me to JDC, which is juvie. So I had to move because I had to charge my phone. So I was not going outside unless the cops said that I had to come with them. No police ever showed up, and CPS was calling us multiple times in a row. So from then, CPS decided they did not want to talk to my family anymore because my family was so upset with her. The woman had said things about me, saying that I was a liar and a manipulator, and things that a CPS person just does not say to a family. We truly, truly believe that Lindsey paid off this CPS worker. And so from then, Lindsey and me and the CPS worker had a 3-way call to where I tried to get my point across, and they would not let me speak. Every time I tried to speak, they decided to yell over me or something else, and I eventually got fed up. I was trying to get my point across, and they would not let me, and eventually I yelled the words, and I quote, "If you make me go back there, I will jump off a bridge."
Okay, I gotta edit out what she said, but she said she'll jump off a bridge and unalive herself.
Quote. To which Lindsey replied, "Okay, I think it's time we take the next steps," and hung up.
Okay, so I think that's when I remember one of the text messages that we revealed that they're talking about, like, Lindsey trying to get her put in a mental hospital.
So from then, I just sat there waiting for somebody to come pick me up and take me to a mental hospital because I knew that was where I was going. We talked to the deputy of our county, who said they were not sending out anyone to come get me that night. Then eventually a welfare person showed up to come talk to me because they had called and said that I was going to try to end my life. Which, those were not my words. My words were I was going to end my life if they tried to send me back there. So my family sent them off because there was random people in our yard, and it was 9:30 at night, and we had no idea who they were or what they were there for. The CPS lady then called Hayden, saying that if she did not let me talk to them and I ended up harming myself, that it was going to be her fault. They ended up sending a CIT officer and a welfare person to come check on me, and they did not find me a harm to myself, and they left me here. From then, we thought it was over, and the next day we were going to a lawyer's office to get emergency custody. The next day, Lindsey saw that my phone location was at a lawyer's office and decided to call and say that she was going to sign her rights over and that she wanted Hayden to adopt me. All we had to do was show up and sign the papers. We knew that this was a lie, and we did not show up. And it did end up, in fact, being a lie. We talked to the lawyer that she said she was at. The lawyer will not represent her anymore.
I think that was the lawyer who represented her on the show, Taylor Moss, I'm pretty sure. Wasn't that the one who represented her on the show? I'd be shocked if he did step away from her.
So from then we got emergency custody, and I stayed here for about a month before anything else happened. Now Lindsey had gone online and got on a live and started saying things about me that were not true, which really, really made some people around us angry. From then, screenshots were sent to a blogger online who told our story, and Lindsey got really upset that my story was out there. Which everything that's going on right now is really crazy to me, because I know that Lindsey's trying to save face, but her lying about me and my family is not doing anything for her. This is not me trying to out her in any way. This is me sticking up for myself and my family. Now I will show you a voicemail that Chad sent to my dad the day I got in trouble and said I wanted to go live with him.
Hey, Jamie, it's Chad Booker. I was going to give you a phone call and tell you, Miley's wanting to come live with you, and I've been raising your kid for the last 3 or 4 months, and she's a good kid. If you want to take her, just call me back, and I'll meet you, and she can come stay at your house, or she can live by my rules, one of the two. But I ain't got nothing against you or nothing, but just from one daddy to the next, I just wanted you to know she wants to come live with you, and we're ready to bring her to you. Just let me know one way or another. My number's 6.
I won't disclose his phone number just because that is personal and very private. But they did say that they did not want me anymore and that I could live here, but now they're taking that back. Now, he did just say that I was a good kid, but that I wasn't living by the rules. But the rules were that I was having to detail cars until 8 or 9 o'clock at night and go put up fence posts at dark. Yes, I got in trouble, but things should not take the turn that they took. CPS did take a picture of the bruises on me, on my knees and my butt. Of course, I cannot show you the picture of the bruises on my butt, but I will show you a picture of the bruises on my knees. This is what my knees looked like. So this is the part 2 to my first video. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. So I'm just going to finish my story and give y'all some more receipts of everything. So I left off in the last video, and it did end up, in fact, being a lie. Things should not take fence posts at dark. Yes, I got in trouble, but things should not take the turn that they took. CPS did take a picture of the bruises on me, on my knees and my butt. Of course, I cannot show you the picture of the bruises on my butt, but I will show you a picture of the bruises on my knees. This is what my knees looked like. So this is
So, in case you missed it, the narrative has changed. The claim is no longer that CPS removed my daughter from my house. The new narrative is that I paid off CPS. Since apparently, it needs to be said because I have so many people letting me know that they absolutely believe Miley on everything she says, I did not pay off CPS. I don't even have bribery money. CPS investigated the allegations and closed the case based off their findings. They just didn't get their way. So now I get to start another day of my child being exploited so that they can get their child support, which they filed for within 3 days of her being over there. Oh, and if you're wondering about my antipsychotic medication that my child claims I mix with alcohol and that makes me crazy when I don't take, this is the only medication I've ever taken in the past 10 years for any sort of mental health issues. It is Effexor. It's called venlafaxine, which is a knockoff of Effexor. I am on 37.5 milligrams, and I am on a taper because we dropped down from 75 milligrams to 37.5 over a 2-month period per my doctor. Light anxiety medication does not be constituted as an antipsychotic. And all of this will come out at court, which we do have coming soon. But if I'm honest...
Can you drink on them? That's what Miley was saying. When you drink on them, you get crazy.
They just didn't get their way. So now I get to start another day of my child being exploited so that they can get their child support, which they filed for.
Okay, but they haven't been getting any money off this, though. The creator that originally shared all these receipts, Realty with Day, she's not even monetized. So she doesn't even make any money off this. And I highly doubt she paid them a dime for any of this tea. And the thing is, Lindsey has been running with this narrative against his stepmother for years now. We can go back and look at text messages that I have screenshotted. I will if I have time. This video is already getting kind of long, but I'll try to get to them. Where Lindsey was like trying to make the stepmom sound like she didn't like black people back in 2024. But we'll get to that in a second.
3 days of her being over there. Oh, and if you're wondering about my antipsychotic medications with alcohol, and that makes me crazy when I don't take, this is the only medication I've ever taken in the past 10 years for any sort of mental health issues. It is Effexor. It's called venlafaxine, which is a knockoff of Effexor. I am on 37.5 milligrams, 75 milligrams to 37.5. Light anxiety medication does not be constituted as an antipsychotic. And all of this will come out at court, which we do have coming soon. But if I'm honest, I feel like the online stuff is going to continue just because for them, I feel like public perception matters more than everything else.
I feel like it's the other way around because Lindsey's been running with the narrative exposing these people for years. And they came out and said something when she first came on the show. They revealed that Lindsey had allegedly shot somebody in front of Miley Grace before she was on the show, like back in her drug days. And they spoke out one time back then because they're just like, look, Lindsey was not a good mother when she was on drugs. And then besides that, Lindsey has been throwing shots at them on social media and poking the bear for years now. And with Chad, she's constantly been throwing shade at Chad's ex. And we're going to get into some messages that she shared like back in 2024. She has been going back and forth talking about these people and making little lip sync videos directed towards them for years. But now they're coming out and finally defending themselves, and she acts like they care more about public perception.
The online stuff is going to continue just because for them, I feel like public perception matters more than everything else. So I guess there's that.
Okay. Let me look at the comments real quick because there were some comments. I don't know if there's any good comments on here, but there were on Instagram and Facebook. So, someone said, Lindsey is on your side until Miley showed those messages. Please go live. And that's the thing. I don't care what the kid did. There's no way on this earth I'll ever let a man speak to my child the way that Chad was texting Miley. And that's what a lot of people are upset about. More than anything is why she was allowing Chad to talk to her daughter this way. Let's look at Instagram. I think this is where she was kind of sharing some more context. She did admit that, you know, Chad denied these messages where he was threatening to kick Miley's ass. But she's like, yeah, these did happen, but he's just trying to quote like this country singer. It says, saying a country singer says. Well, how's Miley supposed to know the difference? Oh, Scotty is pregnant with Lemon Pepper's baby. Oh my goodness. So people are saying on Instagram, people are feeling the same way. I don't care about anything else but those text messages. I don't care how badly I wanted a wealthy man. I'm not going to allow him to talk to my daughter like he did, especially putting hands on her. That's sad. All those hours of military work and it being a godsend if y'all made steak for them. Girl. Lindsey said Chad has never put his hands on her or even yelled at her, but Miley Grace claimed after only knowing her and meeting her a few times, he was yelling at her for hours one night. But Miley Grace claimed in her video that he had only met her a few times and he was already yelling her. He had only met her a few times and he was yelling at her for hours. She said Chad has never put his hands on her or even yelled at her. She asked how she could earn her phone back, so we decided she could work out an hour a day a few times a week and they could get them back. She could at any point just said, I don't want to work out, here's my phone. And teasing her about having steak when we eat it damn near 3 nights a week because it's her favorite. People asking like, what about your text messages to her too? And him saying he wants to kick her ass. He says that all the time to everyone. It's some country saying, and he says it with a long southern drawl. And teasing her, he won't get her steak. It's her favorite food, which is why we had it so often. I don't even like steak like that, but Miley Grace did, so he constantly grilled steak. Yeah, and a lot of people are just asking her about the text. So she claims that those texts were legit, but he was just joking around.